What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back with our Week 14 college basketball picks and preview. Got my boy Ty here. We're going to be running through it here in our picks, and we're going to go look at last week first. We didn't film the video. It got all screwy, lost the file. This is how it came out last week. Very good week for both of us. But yet again, Ty gets me 11-2. I mean, Ty, that North Carolina pick really went out on a limb there.
Yeah, I think it was just too cute. I just was riding the rivalry, the home team. It was too cute, and it didn't work out.
I mean, other than that, we had some pretty solid weeks. I mean, the three games I got wrong were pretty close games. The other game you got wrong, Villanova, was a close game, got upset. So in all honesty, either one of us could have had a perfect week this week, but unfortunately it didn't work out that way. But we're going to move into our first game, which is actually taking place here in about 5 minutes. So this game will probably be over, I hope, if you're watching it on Tuesday when it happens. But we're both going with the upset here in Texas and Kansas. I don't know what the spread is right now, but I'm sure it's pretty close spread. And, Chris Beard really kind of has to respond from last week's beatdown from Texas Tech. And I think this is the game where they get him because, you were talking about how the Kansas team could beat you by 20 or get destroyed by 20. And I think this is one of those games where they're going to struggle with Chris Beard's great defensive mind. And I think Texas is going to win in a very close game.
Yeah, my gut just tells me Texas here. Kansas can go through these long scoring droughts, and Texas is known for forcing teams into those droughts. So, playing at home, Texas still has a lot of talent. I think they were top 5 to start the season. So if you're top 5 talent, you got to win your home games no matter who you're playing. I think they take care of Kansas coming off that high.
Moving to Tuesday at 6:30, we got a great game. A very surprising Marquette team, that's still putting some people on notice in Shaka Smart's first year. They're going on the road to take on a struggling UConn after 2 bad losses last week, especially that Creighton loss. And we're going to see how they can respond here. And for my pick, if you're looking at Zach's pick there, it's not going to be a good response. I think Marquette is, a really hot team right now, playing a cold UConn team. And I think this is a matchup nightmare for UConn, just, with what's happened last week and what Marquette's been pulling off in recent weeks. So I think Marquette is going to take it to them here.
Yeah, it's tough for me to go UConn here. They are at home, even though they only have like 10 fans in their weeknight games. But I'm still going to ride with the home team here. I think Marquette, obviously, they've just been red hot, and I think they're just bound to kind of come back down to earth a little bit. And UConn coming off those 2 losses, they'll be a little desperate, and I think they can pull this one off at home. It'll be close, though.
And at 7 o'clock, so you can catch the end of this game. I don't think too many people are expecting what I'm picking here. But you got that Arkansas team, a top 10 team entering the year, and they're starting to figure it out again. 18-5, making their case to be ranked in the top 25 again. As you saw in our rankings video, they got the receiving votes category. And I think next week this team will be ranked with a big win here against number 1 and hand them their second loss. And I don't know. This Arkansas team has been playing really good as of late and been playing like that preseason top 10 team that they were supposed to be. It took them a while, get the chemistry back. But I think moving forward, Auburn's got to have that slip-up game. We've seen it 2 weeks in a row, actually, against Georgia, win by 2, Missouri, win by 1. And I think this is the one where they slip up and lose to Arkansas.
I wanted to go with Arkansas here. Auburn's had a couple near slip-ups against some subpar teams in Georgia and Missouri, but I just couldn't do it. Auburn just continues to find ways to win, and they kind of had their way with a good Kentucky team at home as well. So, they're just a wagon right now, as people say. So I'm just going to keep riding that wagon and say Auburn wins a close game and they go to 23-1.
And another great game here on Tuesday night, same time, a ranked matchup that probably won't get as many viewers as that game, but it really should in this Michigan State, Wisconsin. And I'm going with Wisconsin strictly based off of what I saw from Michigan State on Saturday. That was a very terrible played game for Michigan State, at Rutgers. I know Rutgers has been a team that's upset a few teams this year, but losing by 20 points and it really never being a close game kind of concerns me for Michigan State moving forward because, a lot of state fans say February, March is Izzo's time. and not a good start to February if you're losing by 20 on the road. So I think Wisconsin's going to go into Breslin and win a very close game.
Yeah, if Wisconsin's going to do it, it's got to be a lot of Johnny Davis. But I don't think they're going to keep up with Michigan State in transition. That's what Michigan State loves to do. They love to run down the court, and Wisconsin doesn't really have the athletes to quite keep up with them like we saw in Madison in the first game. They do get Tyler Wall back for this one, but playing that Breslin, I don't think they'll be able to pull it off. I think Michigan State bounces back.
And after those two, 3 great games, early window, you got at 9 o'clock, Illinois, Purdue. And I think this is another coin flip game, but we got to give it to Purdue because they're at home and because they have two big men compared to Illinois' one and Kofi Cockburn. I think they're going to drain him early. They're going to go at him early. Maybe if Travion Williams or Zach Edey fouls out with him, I think it works out because one of the two will have a great game. Being able to hang with Kofi. They're not scared to go at him. They're scared, they're not scared to play defense on him either. But, Curbelo and Ivy, I think, is really going to be the key matchup here on which guard can perform better for their team. Because, you obviously got to get the ball inside to get it to your big men to see if they can really do a lot of work. But sometimes you got to rely on some outside shooting. And that's where I think Purdue excels. And that's why I'm going with Purdue.
Yeah, I just think it's a bad matchup for Illinois here. This is like the one team that Kofi Cockburn can't just walk in and dominate against down low. We saw it in the first matchup between these two teams where he really got frustrated. Taking on Edey and Williams is tough, especially when they can play a little more loose. They can play and give a few fouls and still be fine. So I think that's a mismatch there. And then obviously Purdue has Jaden Ivey, who Illinois has nobody like him. So I'm going to go with Purdue at home, and they get the sweep.
And moving over to Wednesday night, a game that's probably going to get overlooked again in this Houston SMU game. We've been talking about Sasser's injury all year and how is this Houston's team's going to respond. We almost dropped him out of the rankings essentially because they lost him. And what have they done? Just proved us wrong game after game. I think they've won every single game still since Sasser has been out. And they're 20-2 going on the road against a very surprisingly 16-5 SMU Mustang team. But I just don't think it's going to matter because Houston is on cloud 9 right now, winning all these games. Kelvin Sampson's doing something right there in Houston, and it's going to continue.
Yeah, I just think this is going to be another boring game. Houston just plays boring games all year. I mean that in a good way. They just play low-scoring games, and they dominate. That's what they've done in every tough road game in their conference. They only score about 65 points, but they're keeping their opponents under 50, it seems like, every game. So they just, hound everyone defensively. And I think they'll do that again, and they'll stay undefeated in 2022.
And if you're into some high-scoring games, this could be the one for you. Seton Hall, Xavier, two teams vying for a great win, to boost their resume here. And no better than Seton Hall to get a winning record against AP teams this year, or bench buddy ranking teams here as you're going off of our rankings. But I don't know what to say about the Seton Hall team right now. It's a team that, could go in here and beat Xavier by 15, or they could play bad and lose by 20. I mean, you could say that about any team, but I think Seton Hall is the SEC's Alabama here in the Big East. And we saw them 2 years ago when they had, making that run against almost beat Michigan State, when in 2019, before COVID, before all that, this Seton Hall team was the best team in the Big East. And since then, it's really been kind of lackluster performances this year and last year. But a win here, could bolster their ranking, and I think they're going to do that a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I had no idea where to go with this game. You said Seton Hall is like the Big East Alabama. You could kind of say the same thing about Xavier. Both of these teams are just really up and down. 1 minute they're frauds, and then the next game they go out and beat a good team. So this could go either way, but I'm just going to roll with the home team here. Seton Hall just has more athletes, and I'm assuming Bryce Aiken will be back and playing. So if that's the case, then they should win this game at home.
Moving over to Thursday. Yes, you are reading that right. I am picking against my Wolverines because, one, we saw in the game Saturday, it was a lot closer game than anticipated. I will say that. I'm happy that it was closer than, the 9.5 point spread. But on the road, I think Purdue, has been, a little lackluster at times. We've seen them get upset at Indiana, when they were playing good ball. But this Michigan team isn't playing the same amount of good ball that Indiana was playing at the time when they upset them. It's really going to come down to guard play yet again, unfortunately for Michigan. And that's where Jaden Ivey is going to shine. I think this time he's going to shine even bigger than he did in the first matchup last Saturday. I think Ivy might put up a 30-piece here because they're going to figure out some things, what went wrong, what went right. Obviously, because it's 6 or 5 days since the last time they played them, 6 days. So they definitely have known what they're going to do, go in there next time. And I think Jaden Ivey is going to be a huge part of that.
Well, obviously, I'm going to go with Michigan here. I will actually be at the game, so obviously, I'm not going to pick against them in a game I'm attending for sure. But I think Michigan's going to pull this upset. It seems like in the years where they've been down, they've still been able to get a big win at home. And this just feels like the win that could really propel them. They're kind of in a position we saw Michigan State last year, and they ended up reeling off some big wins there at the end of the season. So maybe well, not maybe. There's definitely bias involved here, but I think Michigan starts that small little run here and gets a big upset win over Purdue.
I mean, I'm still cheering for Michigan, but since I'm down, what was it, 18 picks, I think I got to go with the smart pick here, and, get what inch by inch. But we'll move to Friday night on Fox Sports 1. We got that same Xavier team and that same UConn team where we don't know what we're getting. And I think this is pretty much a heads or tails game. And I'm going with UConn here. I don't think they're going to lose 4 in a row. I picked them to lose this week already once. I don't see them falling that far off the earth, where Xavier, I can clearly see it happening because they've started to go on that downward trend. And at home, I think if you lose at home here, it's kind of going to be a tough game to recover from, especially if UConn, is losing 3 in a row and they come in and pretty much beat you. And I think that's what's going to happen here. I don't know if it'll be high scoring, don't know if it'll be low scoring. It could go either way here with, Xavier love to score 90 points and sometimes they can't score 60. But I think UConn with that triple over OT win against Auburn, best win all year. And I think they're going to also bolster their resume here with a win at Xavier.
These Big East games are very tough. I think right now they have 5 teams ranked between 15 and 25 in the AP poll. So they're all pretty much as good as each other at this point. But I'm going to go with Xavier here in a home game. I have Xavier losing to Seton Hall early in the week, and I have UConn beating Marquette. And the way the Big East is going, we'll pick the opposite in this game, go with Xavier. I just think Xavier's shooting is going to show up in this game, and UConn won't have enough scoring to keep up. So I'm just going to go with Xavier, but it could go either way, really.
And one of us will be right because, we're picking different. So, at least one of us will get it right at the end of the day. But moving over to Saturday, 12 o'clock, huge game for both of these teams. We saw Baylor. I mean, what are they, 4-4 in their last 8 after starting 15-0. Texas, we talked about the Chris Beard game last week and then responding with Iowa State. And then this week we got Texas beating Kansas already. I don't know the score, what it is, because it just started 3 minutes ago.
I know Virginia just hit a 3 with a second left to go up by 1.
So there you got your first upset of the week, possibly. But I think that's going to be the first of many to come, as I'm going with Texas here to shock Baylor and, really send Baylor kind of into a spiral heading towards March Madness.
Yeah, sorry for the reaction. Virginia, big 3, 0.7 seconds left, up 1 at Duke. But getting into this pick, I'm going to go with Baylor to bounce back here at home. I have Texas pulling the upset over Kansas. And, if they could beat Kansas and Baylor in 1 week, that'd be a huge week for them. But unfortunately, I don't see that happening. I think they'll be coming off that high of the Kansas game. And Baylor's starting to get healthy. They've had some guys out the last few weeks, which is why they've been struggling. So assuming they're healthy for this game, I think they should get this win at home and get back on track.
And then at Saturday, 3:30 on Fox, probably Gus Johnson's calling this one, hopefully, because I'll be tuning in for sure. Indiana, Michigan State. a game that could really go either way here. Interesting matchup. We got State, who's playing a tough game at Wisconsin already this week. Indiana, a very good 16-6 team this year, looking for yet another upset victory. And I think their bid is going to fall short here because it's tough to win in the Breslin. I already have State losing once this week to Wisconsin. I don't think they're going to lose two here in 1 week with Izzo and company at home. That's always tough to do. But, I could be wrong. It could be the other way around here. I just think that State is going to go 1-1 for sure this week. And this is how I see it playing out.
Yeah, I think Max Christie's the difference in this game. I don't think Indiana really has a guy to match up with him. So I think he'll have a big day for Michigan State. Jackson Davis could have a big day, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think Bingham can lock him up pretty well. And like I said, Christie will be the difference. So I think Michigan State wins at home. Also, Duke just officially lost. Huge
Nice.
upset.
And at 10 o'clock here, we got Gonzaga's game that they might lose this year. But if you're looking at our picks already, there's no way because they're at home. I mean, they've been playing some really good basketball, playing against cupcake teams. No really scares recently. St. Mary's could give them a scare in the first half, but when it comes to the second half, Gonzaga's going to pull away. But for both these teams' last games, they will be playing each other in St. Mary's. And I think that's going to be the time where Gonzaga might face their biggest challenge. But because this one is at home, you got to go with Gonzaga here.
Yeah, Gonzaga wins this game by a lot. I tried to tune in this, I think it was Saturday against BYU. Figured that'd be a pretty good game to watch. And Gonzaga was up, I think, 30 with a couple minutes left in the first half. So I did not continue watching it. But I will say that they have just been absolutely dominant. In my opinion, right now, they're the best team in the country. And at home, I think they'll take care of business. I'll say they win by 20.
And our last game of the week, two teams that are really reeling for a big win here. USC slowly becoming the most fraud team in this year's college basketball. Kate, we've decided it's been a few teams this year, but it somehow always ends up back to USC. So this week they got the crown of the biggest fraud, and that's why we're going with UCLA here on the road, even though it's maybe 5 minutes. I don't know if fans are still in attendance, but it's not going to matter because UCLA fans come to more games than USC. So it'll be like another home game for them. And I think UCLA and company will get back on track here.
Yeah, I want to go with the home team in this rivalry, but you said it, USC's the big frauds right now. If you look at their schedule, I think I said this in the rankings video, they really haven't beat anyone, to be completely honest. Not sure why they were ever top 5 in the AP poll, and it's starting to show now. I think UCLA coming off 2 losses, now you got a rivalry game. So you got that to motivate you, and they're already mad about the losses. So I think they'll go in and back and get a big win here. I think they're clearly the better team.
And that'll be it for our video today. If you liked our video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel. We'll be doing a giveaway at 100 subscribers. So make sure your profile is public so we can get in touch with you if you're that lucky winner. But until the next time, the Bench Buddies are out.
She never called back.